Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for a guided shamanic journey this evening. My husband Mark will be drumming for us, and we'll be exploring, again, connection to Heron totem medicine. So again, out in nature, if you've been walking or hiking, you might have seen some great blue herons, green herons. So just making mental note if you've connected with those birds lately. And we'll be integrating what their symbolism represents into this guided meditation tonight. So just let yourself get comfortable. Traditionally, shamanic journey is done in a resting position, so you might allow yourself to lie back in a shavasana type of position or restorative yoga posture, or you might be sitting up meditative, or even wherever on a chair or a couch, whatever's comfortable for you. And just begin by connecting with your breath. So closing the eyes, settling in to whatever little nest you're making for yourself tonight. Connecting with breath. As you breathe, let yourself feel the connection of that drum beat into the breath. We breathe in that vibration. We welcome that drum beat vibration, the heartbeat of Mother Earth, into our muscles and our bones, feeling the body softening around that heartbeat. Skin releasing tension as we settle in to our journey work tonight. As we begin journeying, feel yourself welcoming the ground beneath this body, so you feel this lovely appreciation for the earth that supports you. And you feel almost like a coaxing energy of the earth that wants to guide you forward in the process of this journey. And we might call that spirit, that energy, our Mother Earth energy, our Maka from Lakota, or Pachamama from South America. But feel this coaxing energy of Mother Earth to guide you on a walk through nature. And you see yourself as the feet glide over earth, approaching shoreline or marsh. So maybe you're witnessing yourself walking over sandy soil, taller grasses or reeds, but your spirit, your guts keep telling you to move in this direction like a magnetic pole. And you're just taking in the sights, the sounds around you as you walk across that shoreline. You might feel that smell of fresh water air. You might hear the tide lapping up against the shoreline, or seagulls somewhere in the distance. You might smell sweet grass in the air as you walk. See swallows or purple martins flying by. But suddenly you're stopped by the presence of a completely still, statuesque heron. standing on rock at the shoreline of the water, just gazing, completely still, gazing toward the water's surface. And you feel in awe of this creature as you watch it. The presence of this animal is almost hypnotic, and it makes you slow way down. And you continue to silently be drawn toward it. Again, feeling this magnetic pull as you get closer and closer. Seeing how wonderfully tall this bird is on those elegant, thin, long legs. Maybe it's balancing or standing on one leg. Maybe both of its feet are planted. But you continue to take in its slow and steady gaze at the ever-changing, continuously moving surface of the water. Breathing into that energy, slow, steady gaze. And the heron wants you to see what it's seeing, to feel and experience what it's feeling. So you imagine that your legs have to be wonderfully powerful to stay strong. The feet have to be wide as a base to keep your whole structure solid and sound. So feel that connection within you as the waters shift and flow around you, as life currents pull you this way or that. And know what it is your gaze is fixated upon as you attune to that heron energy. The heron is hunting what it would like, what it needs, what kind of sustenance it needs to survive. And so what is that for you this evening as you attune to the presence of this teacher? Is your sustenance right now softening to yourself, showing more self-compassion? Is your sustenance humor? Is it nature? Is it connection or creativity? And let the rest of the world fall out of focus for now as you see what it is you're hunting and going after for contentment and spiritual or holistic nourishment. And then watch as the heron stays again ever so still, but you feel something building up in the field around that bird. You feel like there's going to be a shift, almost like suspense hanging in the air. And all of a sudden, from a place of absolute stillness, the heron jabs its long neck and head down into the water and pulls up what it was hunting and going after. And it pulls up a shining fish. And you watch it take in. You watch it eat what it was going after, ingest. And once you finish watching this action, the heron goes back to its completely still position. invited back into that stillness, knowing that the Heron can guide us through dimensions and layers of the self. So when the Heron stares at the surface of the water, it's not only symbolizing reflection on oneself and all of our layers, but it's also reflecting on our ability to move through these layers with acceptance and appreciation for all that we are and all that the history of our life has brought us, honoring our uniqueness and our ability to adapt to any situation. So maybe as you take the last few moments in this reflective state, to feel yourself standing regally proud and still in all that you are, in all that's made up your history, in all of your creative adaptations or responses to situations, even if now you've realized that some of them don't work any longer. And the wonderful thing about Heron medicine as a teacher, it can help us to release those unhelpful habits or patterns that we outgrew without judgment and harshness toward ourselves. The Heron has a very unique voice, and when you hear the sound it makes, it's almost like it's a clearing of the slate. It sounds its true voice, and it leaves the unhelpful stuff in the past as it moves from whatever was not serving it into a positive direction towards its truth itself. So a Heron has a strange, almost honking-like sound to its voice, a very awkward sound to its voice, but beautiful all at the same time. So maybe you let yourself imagine what that might sound like if you've never heard it. And you watch that bird that you've been so focused on start to open its wings and fly over the waters, and you fly with it. You feel your spirit, your energy connecting with the energy of that bird, either alongside it or you become it. Let your imagination go with this one. And you might hear that sound, that honk, that cry that the Heron makes. Kind of a little bit awkward, but like a declaration of my past is behind me. I am what I am. And I'm going to leave the unhelpful parts behind and to continue to go where I can flourish and be safe, protected, and be welcomed for all that I am, even if it means I'm more by myself from time to time. So you feel that Heron steering you toward that safe and protected rookery. So maybe you imagine flying over a waterway of some kind to some tree branches that are canopied by leaves or foliage. And you feel yourself landing there in that safe, protected place. And when you approach a rookery, a lot of times they're very raucous and loud with many sounds of heron families kind of coexisting. So maybe you hear the sound of those that support you, knowing who your true and authentic supporters are, who is helpful for you to be around, that will help you flourish. And you just observe who those energies or those signatures are. The people in your life that are truly there for you, letting you be all that you are, not asking you to change any part of yourself. And as you let yourself really land in that support system, maybe you imagine being again on a tree branch or back into the shoreline of the water somewhere at the river's edge. But you let yourself breathe and take in all of the richness of your uniqueness. So whether these are a support group of people that are truly approve of all of you, all of yourself, doesn't matter. You're going to just take one more moment to look and reflect at the uniqueness within yourself that others may have made fun of you from the past or criticized you about. And you're going to look at and see how that uniqueness has helped you through your life and become a strength. So for some of us, it might be our sensitivity. When we were young, we might have been ridiculed for that sensitivity. But as we've aged, we can see how that sensitivity is also a great gift, connection to softening and empathy, compassion. There might be other examples where you truly just listen to the sound of your own rhythm, your own drum, and you went after, carved out your own life path. And so look at all of the beauty that you've created as Heron is your teacher. Heron is about non-conformity. It's about not comparing, not judging ourselves, releasing expectation on ourselves as well as others, and staying in the presence of our true and authentic self. Breathe here. And however you've been harsh towards yourself with expectation or ideal thoughts, can you exhale and let some of that go, softening further to yourself? Because the gift that Heron brings us is letting go of what never worked or what doesn't work any longer, and opening up our wings to what does work, seeing how we can adapt and pull at what works and continue to create the life of our dreams. So just a few more breaths, letting yourself find that inner focus again, as if you're seeing through the eyes of Heron, gazing down into the water, beautifully still, beautifully balanced amongst the currents that you might stand in, the directional changes. Let yourself stand there and breathe. And just take the last part of this meditation to connect with either how you want to celebrate your uniqueness and lift it up tonight into the light and say, thank you for all that I am, and I'm going to continue to honor this. Or maybe you take it even a little bit further and direct that uniqueness at your next goal, at whatever it is you're hunting next, with that stock still, calm, and balanced presence of strength, being authentically yourself. So what else do you have your sights set on? More peace, humor, happiness, see yourself gazing down at the surface of the water. And as you continue to identify what is helpful in your life, what is good, what is working, in one fell swoop you might feel yourself, your spirit, lunge into the opportunity that exists below the water surface and snatch it up into yourself. That peace, that humor, that happiness, that contentment, breathing into the present moment. Feeling yourself reintegrating into this human form. But keeping the presence, the stillness, the strength and the grace of Heron within you, and that slow and soft, steady gaze that the Heron can project outward into its life, that can help all of the noise of the external world soften to almost a blur, to go out of focus, to just allow our internal gaze to be focused on what brings us our happiness, our peace, our nourishment, and contentment, no matter what else anyone is doing. So feel that gift that Heron medicine gives to you about honoring yourself, your needs, your true rhythm, the truth within you. Letting go of worries around pleasing, worries of expectation. Just taking a few more deep breaths as you feel the heaviness of the body resting. You might swallow. And eventually allow yourself to bring movement back to the body, wiggling or stretching or working your way up to a comfortable seat in your own rhythm. Again, that Heron medicine, it's all about your own rhythm. Refocusing, reorienting on yourself. As you come to a comfortable seat, or when you do arrive there, bring both hands over your heart center. So we'll push one palm into the chest and we'll stack the other on top. Spreading your fingers, bowing your head, and may Heron give us the courage to be our true and authentic self, no matter what we think others may or may not approve of. May we follow our guts, our rhythms, our inclinations and urges, and may we have the ability to ground into this moment, to feel our feet firmly planted on the earth in some way beneath the surface of the ever-changing flow and current of life. Inhale, honoring your richness, your uniqueness, letting it provide the adaptations that you need to succeed. Just taking a few more breaths, appreciating all that you are. And may our true and authentic support system fall into place around us at this time. Our rookery, so to speak, so that we may be encouraged to continue to dive through the layers of self and stay balanced and supported in the realms of earth, spirit, self, and dream. So I thank you so very much for practicing and exploring with my husband Mark and I this evening. And as you inhale, reach to the sky. Feel those big heron wings just connecting and reaching out of your back, arms opening. Freedom to be authentically yourself without apologizing. Prayer hands. And I thank you. Have a beautiful evening, and namaste.